The Distinguished Service Award has been recognized since 1964, a time when the Beatles made their mark in the United States. The first Ford Mustang was manufactured. Jeopardy debuted on NBC, and you could buy a gallon of milk for 36 cents. The Distinguished Service Award candidate is someone who has been a part of this community for decades, someone who has served, participated, and made a contribution in the areas of civic, service, and economic for the Wellington area community. This year's Distinguished Service Award recipient came into this world at a time when the average cost of a new home was around $9,000. And the first Mr. Potato Head toy was sold, which consisted of plastic accessories to be placed into your real potato vegetable.
This year's recipient is one of the hardest working, most ambitious people that I've ever had the pleasure to meet. He's also one of the most competitive. I don't think I've ever met an individual that worked harder to be successful than him. I've always considered him a mentor, a coach. He's extremely supportive. He's the type of individual that is always there for you. He'll always pick up the phone call. And anytime you ever needed anything, he would be there for you. He's always been more caring about others and their success than his own. He's the type of individual that if you ever needed advice, he would be happy to give it to you, but always gives it in a loving and caring way.
He grew up in a loving family with his brother and sister, and was quite the athlete from a young age. After high school, his college pathways led him to the University of Kansas, where he played baseball for 4 years. He earned his law degree from Washburn University. Our recipient is a prominent, civic-minded individual and has always been an example of what civic engagement is. An upstanding businessman who spearheads the development of projects that help with areas of need. He has served on several boards, including the Wellington Recreation Commission, First United Methodist Church Boards, Housing Authority, Impact Bank Board, Airport Authority, and more than 30 years on the Futures Unlimited Board.
This year's recipient, I first came to know studying as a 10-year-old with a group of several thousand excited Wellington fans at Cessna Stadium in 1969. This year's recipient broke free in the Bonner Springs secondary and caught the winning touchdown pass. In hindsight, that was this year's recipient's first distinguished act for our community.
He comes from a family with a strong work ethic. He returned to Wellington after college to be close to his family and practice law with Bob Cobean, which has evolved to Renn and Short. Through college, he met his amazing wife. They have celebrated 43 years of wedded bliss. They expanded their family with 2 sons to carry on their namesake and love to share many adventures with them.
Well, I first met Chad, of course, when he returned to Wellington as a young lawyer, and he went to work immediately with Bob Cobean's office. And Mr. Cobean was a marvelous lawyer, but was not what we call courtroom savvy. And so young Chad Renn became the litigator for the Cobean firm. And we're in court probably 8 or 9 years into his career, and it was a tough criminal docket, tough docket. Full courtroom, packed with the gallery was packed, heavy docket. Chad had a difficult case and a motion for probation. I had a similar motion for an unrelated case. Chad that day did a marvelous job, one of the best I've ever seen, and did what I call thread the needle. And so in front of a judge that was not in a generous mood that day, Chad was able to achieve probation for his client. As it turns out, I threaded the needle that same day, and as the courtroom cleared out and I debriefed my client's family, Chad returned to the quiet courtroom and sat down beside me and said, "Jack, I don't think anybody works any harder than we do, but we don't work very smart. His point being that it had been like passing a kidney stone to get through that docket. I've always treasured that comment. It's not necessarily that humorous a comment unless you were in the trenches that given day. It was quite timely and a wonderful comment. Speaks about Chad quite a bit.
As I understand it, we're recognizing Chad Renn. And you want me to say something nice about him? Really? Chad served on the Futures Board of Directors for 36 years. And as you can imagine, as a board member, he was simply exemplary in every aspect. But for the 34 years that I've known him, he has made it one of his personal missions in life to torment me at every opportunity he could find. He knows all of my hot buttons, and he relishes pushing them at any chance he gets. Chad has this impish little smile, and when you're sitting in a meeting or in a bar or anywhere for that matter, and he raises his eyebrows and he gives you that little smile, you know you're pretty much done. But, you know, I suspect that I am the only person Chad has ever picked on like this, so there's probably more to say. Truth be told, Chad is one of the good guys. Now, to say that he's driven or competitive is kind of an understatement. His prowess and bravado in the courtroom, in a boardroom, on a golf course, or in a deer stand is widely known and talked about. But beyond that, anyone who has spent any time with him realizes that his love of family and friends, his strong moral compass, and his long-standing commitment to his hometown is what defines him best. He's always interested in someone's story, offering friendship, support, and counsel to hundreds and hundreds of folks through the years, regardless of their situations or stations in life. And he does it quietly and without fanfare or accolades.
Chad has shared many experiences with his sons, including golfing in Ireland and Scotland, and several hunting excursions.
Chad has probably had more influence on this community than a lot of people realize. Wellington is by far a better place to live because of a lot of the influence Chad has had on this community. Every one of us has been impacted by something that Chad has been able to contribute to the city of Wellington and our quality of life.
Congratulations, Chad Renn, for being chosen for the 2022 Distinguished Service Award. Wellington is so grateful and
Here's
proud.
a little bit here, and we're going to do the Karnak routine. I think you've been involved in that with me periodically as time's gone by. Anyway, Karnak has here in this sealed envelope the contents unknown to anybody, including Karnak. And Karnak will attempt to answer the question that is in this envelope. Hard day's night. The Renn Rockets, July 4th, 1980, victory at the Great Race. Chadley, that was one of your finest hours. It has nothing to do with the practice of law, what kind of citizen you are. It talks about your competitive spirit and that of the Renn family. It was a great day, and the reason Karnak says hard day's night, the 4th of July, you ran that race at 2:30 in the afternoon. And at midnight, we were still celebrating Renn Rockets' achievement at the Slate Creek Depot. That was a Friday, July the 4th, 1980. Your family, I want to share this picture with the people that are at least looking at this video, presuming it survives the cutting room floor. This is a photograph taken in the fall of 1980. To the viewer's left is your father, Bob Renn, and next is your brother, Greg, yours truly, and here's Chad Renn. This was the banquet where the Renn's Rockets were presented with the Watson Trophy. Obviously, a wonderfully proud and happy father with two wonderful sons. A special night, a special day for you, Chad, and this is a special night for you as well. Thank you very much for being my friend and all you've done for and with me over all these years. Thank you, Chad.
As time went on, he graduated from competitor to Master of Ceremonies. Chad is most proud of his family, from his grandparents and parents to his grandchildren and extended family. His passion over time has been golfing, so much so he has achieved celebrity status with his enthusiasm, interaction, involvement, and mentorship of golfers, both young and old. You certainly never know who you'll get the opportunity to interact with.
Chad, congratulations on an award extremely well deserved. You have been a wonderful representative to our community, and I'm very pleased to call you my friend. Congratulations again.
Congratulations, Chad, for this very special evening. I don't know where you are out there, but I want you to know, you've pointed out over the years that I've worn prescription sunglasses my entire life. Today or tonight, I have on these Ray Charles specials because I've had recent surgery. You have an appreciation for fine automobiles, as do I, so we're going to call this Cadillac surgery. Anyway, Chad, you're quite deserving of this award and this recognition. I'm pleased to be invited to even make comments to contribute to this evening on your behalf.
Congratulations, Chad. Nobody deserves this more than you do, and it's time that you be recognized a little more for everything that you've done for this community.
From my perspective, in his often unassuming way, Chad is one of those folks who's always been a part of the glue that holds our community together, making him especially deserving of this recognition tonight. Chad, my friend, congratulations. And from all of us, thank you. When they made you, they threw away the mold. Thank God.